exactly what is the addiction, and then tell us about the gambling addiction. Gambling was all about, just like your intro song right after the news with Frank Sinatra. I fell in love with it, and never in a million years did I ever think that it could turn into something that would literally change my life for the negative, of course, for the first 23, 24, 25 years. And it just somehow seeps into your blood. It becomes part of your DNA, and you literally, you eat, sleep, drink, and think about the world of gambling 25 hours a day, not even 24. And it messed my life. It ruined my life. But, as you said before, very lucky to be able to come out of the proverbial tunnel on the other end at the ripe old age in my early 60s and have turned things around. And I really am the voice to those who just can't seem to get out of the grip of gambling guilt. And there's a big difference, Howard, between those people who want to go to Vegas or go to their local casino, have a little fun, and come home and stuff like that. I want people to understand that not everybody's an addicted gambler, right? Oh, of course. I was never big on numbers and stats because everybody, issues their own numbers. But the number I like to use that I'm comfortable with is that probably somewhere between 4 and 6% of those that gamble are pathological gamblers, which obviously means that 95% aren't, which is to your point exactly. Now tell us how you... Oh, yeah, as I said last time, I said when I was on in October, it's only a 2-hour show. Can I do all that? Plus you get calls in there. In my case, it was not unique because now I do this for a living, as you well know, and as you mentioned at the beginning of the show. I had a family intervention, and in full transparency and disclosure, as you mentioned last time, you're friendly with my brother who was home listening in Los Angeles, with his light skin, listening to you and I talk, and he's been there with me since day one. And unbeknownst to me, I had a family intervention set up in Los Angeles, actually in my brother's house. It goes back, 20 plus years ago. And my family called me out on it. I lied. I told stories, which is wrong. And my whole demeanor as a married man had changed tremendously. I had made the cardinal sin by borrowing money from the wrong people, and that just devastated me and worried the beauty out of me, obviously on a daily basis. And I became a different person, and my family is filled with very bright people. And they cut on to me, and like I said, I had an intervention in Los Angeles. And I thought I was going there for 2 days to hang out with my brother and in and up burgers, but that's not the case. And at a certain point, George, in his home, I could picture the chair that I was sitting in, along with a couple of cousins and Billy. They called me out on it, and I just gave up. I gave in, and thank God I did. Thank God they did. Thank God that they knew what they were doing, and I don't know if I could have lasted, George, much longer. Howard did. Deep down inside, did you know you had a problem? Oh, absolutely. I used to have what I called the 3 o'clock sweat. When you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, sweating about the money you owe, and how sick it was in my brain, how sick it was to actually worry about the money that I owed, in addition to worrying about, well, get the next chunk of change to go back and play. How crazy is that? I mean, I didn't go to Yale or Harvard, but I still went to college. I like to think that I'm above average intelligence, but it completely takes over every aspect of your life, including the thinking process, which I didn't learn at all. Imagine to know you owe so much and still look where you can get the next thing. It was, to say awful, would be the understatement of the year. Yeah.
I'm assuming that you lost a lot. What if you had won? What would have changed?
It's a great question. You know, when I was on a roll winning, which, by the way, again, in full disclosure, full transparency, it doesn't happen for very long. If you're a sick gambler like I was, a good roll, good span could be a couple of days, certainly not more than a week. So when things went well, they went fantastically well, and it's the old theory. When you win, you think that you have your system in place and that you know better than everybody else, which of course is complete nonsense because the only ones that win are the casino operators and or the government that owns the casino.
Vegas is not built by winners, that's for sure.
Well said, exactly, well said. And when I was on a losing streak, which would be most of the time, it was horrific. But what we do as and I don't want to keep using the term sick gamblers because I think everybody can be fixed, and that's my modus operandi in life right now to help everybody, especially those that think they can get help, is to change the mode of thinking that you cannot win. And I repeat, unless you're the owner of the casino, nothing goes on forever. Obviously, it's all luck. There are no such things, and the only way to really win is not to gamble. That's it. It's really simple. But while you're in the throes of gambling, it's very tough to get out because you chase the money that we lost, which can never happen. You can never get it back. It doesn't happen. And that's it for 40 plus years, George, on both sides of the game, and I've never seen it happen yet. And the only way to get out of the grip of the gambling world is to quit. That's it. Just hit the brakes on.
So what is the definition of an addicted gambler? Is it somebody who loses more than they have? I mean, what if you're Jeff Bezos and you've got billions of dollars, and so he goes to Vegas, gambles $1 million, loses it, and says, well, I got 200 million left, or 200 billion. Does that make him an addicted gambler?
It's a great question. It's like a very skinny person going to a buffet and eating them up. You know, are they, are they just like a leader? Well, the answer is yes. And I like to use the example. I don't want to throw names around, but it's public knowledge that Mr. Jordan, a basketball fan, is a crazed gambler, just like Barkley is. And I only say that because they go on national TV and they talk about it. And matter of fact, Barkley was on Salary maybe about a month ago, and I saw the interview, and I cringed. I was embarrassed for him. He was laughing. He would say that he would go, again, to your point, George, he would go to Vegas, and he would lose $2-3 million for the weekend, and, go back Monday morning and say, the food was great. Really? Really? So the answer is, whether you can afford it or not, anybody that could positively go to Vegas for the weekend, lose $2-4 million and come back and smile, I think is a very sick person. That's my opinion only. He probably would argue with me saying, you're in trouble, Howard. I'm not. I can pay my bills. Yeah, that might be true, but that doesn't mean that gambling $2 million every weekend because you can afford it doesn't make you sick. It does, in my opinion.
When you spot an addicted gambler,
I love that question. That's my forte, George. When I go to the casino and people laugh, I spend more time in the casino now than I used to when I was a gambler. I obviously work there. Most of my cases take place in the casino, following husbands or wives or what have you. The answer is categorically yes. I could literally within 15 minutes when I walk in, I can spot. I'm not going to say everybody, that would be a stretch and a lie, but I could spot easily 10, 15 people who really should be home watching television, or more importantly, home listening to Coast to Coast, because they should certainly not be in the casino. The body language of George, that study, and I love the top, the sweating, the twitching, the nervousness, talking to themselves, talking to the machine, glaring at the machine, hitting the machine, feeling like blackjack, you talk to the cards. Really? I mean, I don't think so. So yeah, I can spot a pathological gambler a mile away. Absolutely.
What creates the addiction for something like gambling? What are they after? What are they missing in their life that they need to replace it with gambling?
Again, a great question, because I've always asked that of myself, George. And as I've mentioned, and I'll mention this publicly in front of millions of people, I lack for nothing. I come from a great middle-class family in Montreal. Dad was a lawyer. Mom had her own business. The greatest brother that any human being could possibly ask for, as you well know. Both, you know who he is. The greatest guy in the world. I had,
now, for full disclosure, he's a very successful Hollywood writer for television shows.
Okay, I don't want Dave to swell always listening, but that's all true. And more importantly, George, just a great human being, a great family man, and he helped me through thick and thin. Through it all. But yeah, so that's my brother, and he, even though he moved away 40 plus years ago to New York and LA, we still speak these days since our parents are gone. He probably speaks 5 to 7 times a week, sometimes twice in a day, texting all the time. He just wished me good luck before I came on the air a little while ago. And I had a sister who unfortunately passed away at 62, and she was the greatest woman in the world too. Cornell University grad, a genius. So all that to say is that my background, I lacked for nothing. I wanted to be a pilot, and my dad made sure that I went to flight school while I was going to university, and I did my dream, and I did become a pilot. So I really have no complaints. So all that to say, why did I become addicted to gambling? I can't tell you. I don't want to make up an answer, and I've been thinking about that for years and years. I don't know. I think I just love the excitement of being in a casino.
Oh yeah, but couldn't you have done that without being addicted?
Probably, but my problem was, as I remember it, all going back 40 plus years, is when I first began gambling. We have to remember that gambling really was only in the form of an actual casino. Let's turn the clock back 40 plus years, right? So at that time, there were no casinos in Canada. As a matter of fact, the first casino in Canada, or here in Montreal, opened up in October of '93. It's going to be 30 years this October that the Montreal casino exists. Meaning, for the 10 years prior to that, the only gambling I did was driving down to Atlantic City with my wife and or my folks, or on my own, or taking a trip down to Vegas. And I just literally ate it up. I loved it. I'm pretty good in that, I must say. I sort of found out that I could not count cards, but some type of photographic memory when I was in flight school. So that helped me play blackjack. But again, 40 plus years, who am I kidding? How much did it help? I ruined my life, so I suppose my counting was not that great, and my math was not good enough.
It's difficult. I know a lot of Hollywood people who love Vegas, fun, and they come back and they do their thing. I used to have a rule to take as much as you could lose, and that's it. And if you lose it, you lose it.
100%, George, and that's a great mantra to go by. The problem is nowadays, of course, with the access of everybody having credit cards, debit cards, and what have you, people can get money from all different places when they're away. And it's always, that one more, one more. But you're right, 95% of those that gamble do not have the problem, and they do go and they have fun. They see a show, they dine with their partner or their family, they enjoy the show. They sit by the pool in Vegas when the weather is suitable, and they just enjoy the noise, the people watching. Absolutely. In those days, I could not care less about the food. I could not care less about the pool. I could not care less about people watching. All I wanted to do was sit at a blackjack table, and the faster a dealer could deal, the happier I was. It was simply ludicrous. Because another little stat, obviously they're going to win, which means the faster you play, the you're going to lose, the faster you're going to lose, and the more depressed you're going to be. I did nothing right except suck.
And there's nothing worse than getting a dealer who has no personality.
Oh my God.
They trap you. They trap the table.
Oh, absolutely. So there's a great story that we told I was on the air back in October. It's a great story, and I can say it publicly because it's not, yeah, he's coming down with the story. I was playing blackjack with Aaron Stone at Caesars, and I didn't really know who he was until somebody said, you know, to the next year.
Great producer, is one of the greatest.
Absolutely. And this has to make you laugh in contrast to talking about Jordan and Barkley. It was him and I playing, and I don't want to lie, I don't remember. I was probably playing $25 to $50 on blackjack. George, Coast to Coast listeners, Mr. Spelling was playing $2 a hand. You're going back 30 plus years, and they had blackjack for $2 and $5 a hand.
I love it.
$2 a hand, the dealer had an ace, and he literally stopped the game, looked at me and said, "Just a minute, sir," and he was thinking if he could take insurance for $1. So there you go. That's just goes to show about, like my late aunt used to say, that's why Heinz makes 57 varieties, all kinds of people. And he lost about $100, and he was not happy.
Not happy with $100.
Probably, and that was probably the apex of his career when like every second show on television was his. I love it. And, hey, for $1, I remember saying, Mr. Stone, here's a white stick. Do we please take any fun?
Howard, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment. Howard's website is linked up at coasttocoastam.com, and we will start taking your calls next hour on Coast to Coast AM.
The Coast website is now streamlined for mobile devices. Great news if you're a Coast insider or simply want to enjoy our website on your phone. Visit coasttocoastam.com on your iPhone or Android browser.
I'm Bree Pennant in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Police are on the lookout for a man who attempted to rob a Wells Fargo bank in Compton. Surveillance videos show the man displayed a demand note and received cleaning in a black SUV. He's described as a Hispanic male wearing a Lakers sweatshirt, black sunglasses, and a blue bandana along with blue construction gloves. Arnold Schwarzenegger was seen filling potholes in Brentwood yesterday. He said he was tired of the potholes in his neighborhood and hired a crew to fix a giant one in the area. And the Holocaust Museum LA is planning a Holocaust Remembrance Day gathering Sunday at 2 p.m. It'll be at the Pan Pacific Park in the Fairfax district. It will mark the 80th anniversary of the Warsaw Uprising. And the USDA says you have to eat or toss those Easter eggs. 57 in Santa Ana, Playa Park is 58, 56 in Manhattan Beach, and 56 in Redlands. We leave local for the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bree Pennant.
In South Dakota, there's a full freeway closure for North South of Water to make only a street. All the way to get stepped out for road work until 5. Then they'll be 10 west south before Waterman. Little better there. Now the lanes are on the right shoulder, but you're seeing some delays as you approach. San Dimas, there is a work zone. It's called the 210 west south from Footville to San Dimas Avenue. 2 right lanes are going to be stepped out for road work until 4. KFI in the sky, hope to get you there faster. I'm Brian Van. iHeart Podcast is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When is the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same thing, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. This thing and a track record of success. So go be mindful protecting your rights and make sure you you get the compensation you deserve. Trust Jacoby Myers to do the best for you. We offer free consultations to help you understand your case and the options available to you. Don't strike out with the insurance company. Call Jacoby Myers today. Jacoby Myers, justice for you since 1972.
Hey, it's Team Shark. If you're planning on going solar or even thinking about going solar, then listen up. Time is running out to secure the best possible solar reimbursement with the state of California. Last year, the state and your utility company got together and changed the way new solar systems get reimbursed for the power they produce. And as you can guess,